Today's podcast is brought to you by AlleyRepair.com. Don't leave your skee ball machines lying around collecting dust in the basement. Let AlleyRepair.com bring those machines back to life. High quality workmanship for your skee ball playing needs. Contact AlleyRepair.com today. Hello everyone and welcome to today's episode of the Fro Life Wrestling Podcast. I know I was going to wait until after Elimination Chamber to shoot out another episode, but there was a few things in the news and I know I'm going to want to focus on the Chamber and Raw and SmackDown and things like that in the next episode. So I figured I would throw out the news happenings and things today, and that way we can focus on the WWE in the next podcast. We'll kick off today's show with the sad news of the passing of Chavo Guerreros Sr. at the age of 68. He has succumbed to cancer. It's a sad day for the wrestling world because this family has contributed so much in so many different ways. Between all the interaction throughout the 70s and early 80s with Roddy Piper, he had these great classic feuds in NWA Hollywood. You can go online and check out today. Even when they did the Roddy Piper documentary for WWE, they included these great opportunities between Piper and Chavo Sr. And it's a sad day. He contributed a lot more recently with his Cruiserweight Championship runs in World Wrestling Entertainment. He obviously influenced hugely the careers of Eddie and Chavo Jr. and Mondo and Hector Guerrero, the whole family in general. They're all coming from the legendary father, Gory Guerrero. So just the family in general. It's sad to see another tragedy in such an amazing family, but fortunately for even some of the younger wrestling fans, we got to see just a really great performer and a real ring technician who really just brought happiness to the fans every time he was in the ring and was able to put on the comedic skits like he did with Chavo Jr. or the real serious stuff he did back in the earlier part of his career. He was someone who spent time in so many different promotions, including the AWA and the UWF and World Wrestling Entertainment, as well as various programs throughout Mexico and in the American Southwest. So, our condolences go out to the Guerrero family, and hopefully people will never forget the amazing contributions of people like Chavo Sr. So, moving on from that, we'll hit our This Day in Pro Wrestling History. We're going to do the February 11th and 12th. February 11th, 1969, Dory Funk Jr. defeats Gene Kiniski for the NWA World Championship. Dory Funk would go on to hold the title for over 4 years, one of the longest reigns in the NWA history. February 11th, 1984, Tito Santana defeated the magnificent one, Don Morocco, for the WWF Intercontinental Championship, which really put Tito Santana in a position to be the other major babyface at the time, heading into that whole Hulk Hogan era where Hogan was the main A program. Tito Santana was able to carry the load on the B program as they toured different parts of the country, and it really cemented Tito Santana as a Hall of Fame talent during his Intercontinental Championship run. Happy birthday goes out to a few wrestlers over the course of yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Happy birthday to Hot Stuff Hernandez of LAX from TNA fame and so a little bit of Lucha Underground. Victoria, the former WWE diva, also known as Tara in TNA. To Ken Shamrock, who UFC Hall of Famer, also spent some time in the WWE. The One Man Gang, also known as the African Dream Akeem, and the Innovator of Violence, Tommy Dreamer. Happy birthday to all those people. I'm sure they'll have others in the next couple episodes, but I didn't want to forget any of those people because they're all big names from throughout wrestling history. Sanjay Dutt in the news. Sanjay Dutt was doing a guest trainer performance, role at the WWE Performance Center, and the big news on Dutt is, if anybody's never seen Sanjay Dutt wrestle, he's actually a really talented cruiserweight, but never really made it to a main event program in a place like WWE. He spent some time in TNA, nothing of overly huge significance. Now, guest training at the Performance Center. He's been contacted by Ring of Honor to replace Steve Corino on commentary. He's been contacted by Jeff Jarrett representing TNA, hoping that he'd be able to go in there and work on the creative side of things. Whatever avenue he chooses, Sanjay Dutt clearly has a lot of opportunities at his disposal. I know he will be working a Ring of Honor show coming up shortly, so we'll see where he goes permanently. I would love to see him in WWE, though, because he could bring so much of a wealth of experience to their younger cruiserweight style guys and a lot of these UK wrestlers and really develop them for a real presence on television. There's a new member to the Bullet Club. There was a big match last night. Saw an 8-man tag team match at the end of the show. Ends up resulting in the Bullet Club coming away victorious. At the end of that, you saw Christopher Daniels coming to the ring and doing getting ready to work a program with Adam Cole. He gets in there with Adam Cole, and all of a sudden you see Kazarian come down to the ring, who is his partner. That's his tag team partner. Come to the ring and reveal that he's wearing a Bullet Club shirt, and he attacks Christopher Daniels, and Kazarian is the newest member of the Bullet Club. It's kind of getting to the point now in Ring of Honor, there's enough people in the Bullet Club, you got to start wondering, it's almost like an NWO takeover. You got half the talent roster is Bullet Club, and the other half are not, but Kazarian joining the club, kind of a big deal. I hope this leads to Christopher Daniels finally getting his World Championship run with the Ring of Honor title, because he's so deserving of it. But it seems like if that's the case, then maybe he'll get the title and then work a program with Kazarian, which would be very, very high-quality matches. They've wrestled in the past, not for quite a while. It would feel kind of fresh, even though it's been done before. It's something a lot of fans may have forgotten about. So, we'll see how that shakes out. In the betting odds for tonight's Elimination Chamber, the odds have shifted again. Dolph Ziggler is now on the losing end of the handicap match. This keeps going back and forth. Same thing with the women's matches. Mickie James and Becky Lynch, their betting odds are pretty much even now. Same thing with Alexa Bliss and Naomi. So there's 3 matches tonight that have flip-flopped the odds multiple times. So who knows who's going to win these different matches? It's actually really exciting when you don't know for sure. It's almost like going into this year's Rumble. Until the last week or so beforehand, nobody really knew who was going to win the Rumble. And then all the news broke about Randy Orton, and it kind of changed the feel for the show. I'm still not sure who's going to win those 3 matches. I'm going to hit some international news. ICW, Insane Championship Wrestling out of Great Britain, had a show this weekend. Saw Trent Seven from WWE UK Tournament go against Wolfgang. We had announced that on a previous podcast. He ended up winning the Insane Championship Wrestling World Championship at their Square Go event. So now Trent Seven is the ICW champion. After Katsuhiro Shibata successfully defended his Revolution Pro Undisputed British Heavyweight Championship this weekend in Japan against Will Ospreay, there's news for him. He's got a new challenger, which is going to be Zack Sabre Jr., who defeated Speedball Mikey Bailey at a live event, the Live at the Cockpit 13 show last night for Revolution Pro. Those two in the ring, Shibata and Sabre Jr., is going to be an awesome, awesome match. These guys can put on a show the likes of which is hard to come by. So definitely check that out when that match finally takes place. The really big news coming out of the British scene is WCPW, What Culture Pro Wrestling, is going to be having a Wrestling World Cup. Going to have Jim Ross and Matt Stryker on commentary. There'll be 64 wrestlers from 8 geographic groups. 2 representatives from each group are going to move on to the finals. The finals of this tournament will be held over the weekend of August 23rd to the 26th. You can go to their WCPW YouTube feed, and for free, they're going to make sure all matches in this tournament are free to make it a real fan-friendly experience. The regional groups are going to include a English group. It's going to see Marty Scurll and Zack Sabre Jr., Nick Aldis, who wrestled as Magnus in TNA, Will Ospreay, Rampage Brown, Jimmy Havoc, Martin Kirby, and Zach Gibson. They're going to represent the English contingency. There's a Scotland contingency. It's going to be headlined by Drew Galloway, which is going to be held in conjunction with Scottish Wrestling Alliance. Canada has got a deal worked out with Smash Wrestling, which is a promotion up there, to host their tournament. Their competitors have not been announced yet. There's a Mexican bracket, which the weird thing is the Mexican bracket, the matches will be held in Great Britain, but it'll be represented by Rey Mysterio, Alberto El Patron, Penta LOM, Rey Fenix, El Hijo de Dos Caras, Drago, and El Ligero, which is kind of funny because he's not really Mexican. It's just a work for the business, but whatever. He's supposed to represent a lucha character, so we'll see. And then there's Team Germany that we spoke a couple episodes ago about XWX, which is a promotion in Germany. They have 2 talents there. Bad Bones and Axel Dieter Jr. are going to be in this German bracket, along with a student of Alex Wright, Das Wunderkind from WCW days. He has a guy named Juvenile X who will be represented in that tournament as well. And there's another promotion, GWF, over there, who are going to be sending the talents Crazy Sexy Mike, Cash Money Erkin, Lucky Kid, Tarkin Aslan, Pascal Spalter. They're going to be representing Germany. And then there's still going to be 3 more teams announced. Team USA, bracket from Japan, and a rest of the world bracket, which should see 8 competitors from 8 different countries from around the world. So this is a 64-man tournament that's going to be awesome. And it's going to be totally free to check out on their YouTube channel. So I encourage everybody over the next several months to check out those matches as they become available. I will try to report on them here as often as I can to keep you updated on that tournament. And on the conversation of watching these things online, I hope some people realize it's not just the WWE Network, which you can purchase for $9.99 a month. The NWA, if you're an old school wrestling fan, there is NWAOnDemand.com, which is $8.99 per month or $99 a year to watch classic NWA matches. There's NJPWWorld.com, which is New Japan Pro Wrestling's online streaming service, which is also $9.99 a month. There's HighSpotsWrestlingNetwork.com, which is $9.99 a month, which has a variety of independent promotions. There's the Women's Wrestling Network. If you have a Roku, you can stream that to your Roku, which is another all women-based streaming service. And you have WWNLive.com, which, as I said in the previous podcast episode, they house multiple promotions, including CZW and places like that, where you can go on and for a pay-per-show feature, you can watch different programs. Theirs doesn't have a monthly fee. You kind of go with whichever show you want to watch, but you can literally customize whatever you want for your on-demand experience and really enjoy some independent wrestling you may not get a chance to see other places. This episode's look-back match. I'm not just doing one match this time. I'm going to give you 3 because I really couldn't make up my mind, and all 3 are pretty cool. On YouTube, go to YouTube and look up these matches. Damon Stryker versus Meng. For those who don't know, Damon Stryker would be Adam Copeland, also known as Edge in WWE, the Hall of Famer, long before he was a Hall of Fame talent, going against Meng on WCW Saturday Night. So check that out. It's a short one. It's only about 2.5 minutes. Then look up Terra Rising versus Brian Armstrong, which for those who are not automatically knowing who I'm talking about, that would be Triple H against the Road Dogg, also long before either of them were main event talents. And my favorite match this week, this one I wrestled with saving for another episode, but both of the other 2 I just mentioned to you are only about 2 minutes long, so I wanted to throw this one out there. The British Bulldogs versus the Fantastics. Tag team wrestling at its best in All Japan Pro Wrestling. So if you do a YouTube search for British Bulldogs versus Fantastics, you will not be disappointed. Great match. This is a relatively quick episode. I want to make sure I let you guys know, please give me your reviews and your subscribes. If you like the podcast, if you like what we do here, we need to know that so we can try to make the program run as smooth as possible and give you the types of information you're looking for. Our pro wrestling plug for this episode is our buddies over at Chikara Wrestle Factory. You know, the Chikara Wrestle Factory is located in Philadelphia at 4711 Wingate Street in Philadelphia, PA. They specialize in lucha libre, pura-su, European, British, and German styles, mixed martial arts, and American pro wrestling in their curriculum. At the Wrestle Factory, they strive to create the most well-rounded performers active today. That's all the time we have for this episode, but check back with us in episode 21, where I apologize, I'm getting ahead of myself. Episode 20, the big 2-0, where we're going to review the Elimination Chamber, look at Raw and SmackDown, get all that stuff ready to go, do some projecting for WrestleMania, and we'll go on from there. Special thanks, as always, out to bensound.com and purpleplanet.com for producing all of our typical music and sound effects, and to Monk Turner for our birthday shout-out song. Today's podcast was sponsored in part by Beazle Games. Bringing a new friend to family game night is easy with sketchy people. Showcase your artistic side with this new game from Beazle Games and bring some fun and excitement back to family game night by going to www.thegamecrafter.com/sketchypeople to pick up your copy today. And to AlleyRepair.com. Contact Alley Repair today for servicing of all your classic skee-ball, pinball, and arcade needs. We want to thank you for listening to today's podcast. We encourage you to go to our website at www.frolifeplanning.com to learn more about what Mr. Fro can do for you in your path to higher education. Remember, Fro Life Educational Planning is for today, for tomorrow, and for life with Fro Life. I'm Fred Froelich, better known as Mr. Fro, and I want to thank you for taking a few moments with us today, and we look forward to discussing all the current events and all the news and rumors on our next show. Until then, everybody, have a great night, and take care, and enjoy the Elimination Chamber tonight.